Nnamdi Kanu accepts Supreme Court judgment blocking his release from DSS custody. IPOP leader's lawyer, AGO4, welcome to the news and please subscribe to our channel. The Supreme Court, however, held that the Nigerian government ruthlessly and unlawfully detained Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria. It, however, held that such an unlawful act would not strip any court of its power to proceed with the trial. The detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, has said the Supreme Court of Nigeria declared his extraordinary rendition from Kenya, revocation of his bail by the Nigerian government, and invasion of his home by the security personnel as unlawful but repealed Nigerian constitution by upholding his continued detention. The indigenous people of Biafra IPOB leader said this on Tuesday while reacting to the Supreme Court judgment on his appeal against his continued detention by the Nigerian government despite the judgment of a court of appeal which discharged and acquitted him and ordered his unconditional release from the custody of the Department of State Services, DSS. Sahara reporters on Friday reported that the Apex Court in a judgment delivered by Justice Emmanuel Agim but written by Justice Garba Lawal nullified the judgment of the Court of Appeal that ordered Kanu's release and asked the trial court to continue with the case. The Supreme Court, however, held that the Nigerian government ruthlessly and unlawfully redetitioned Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria. It, however, held that such an unlawful act would not strip any court of its power to proceed with the trial. But reacting to the Supreme Court's judgment when his legal team visited him on Tuesday, Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, who gave an update on Kanu's reaction, said that the IPOB leader questioned whether the Apex Court effectively repealed constitutional provisions cited before it on his release. Ejiofor said, and I quote, "The eventual verdict of the Supreme Court was conveyed to Nnamdi Kanu and expressed reservation of the outcome. However, Kanu elected to accept this outcome because of the finality of the Supreme Court decisions and not because they're infallible, but because they're infallible for the fact that the Supreme Court is the final court in the land." Nevertheless, in accepting this verdict, Onyendo specifically requested that the following compelling questions be put out publicly to the discerning members of the public who are keenly following the trajectory of this case, to wit, there is the decision of the Supreme Court which substantially sanctioned the federal government's illegal act of Onyendo Nnamdi Kanu's abduction and extraordinary rendition to Nigeria, effectively repeal the following Nigerian laws which are all cited in a brief before the Supreme Court. According to Ejiofor, Kanu's legal team cited before the Supreme Court that Section 15 of the Extradition Act Cap E25 laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 provides as follows. We are in accordance with the law of any country that the Commonwealth or in pursuance of an extradition agreement between Nigeria and other country, whether within the Commonwealth or not, any person accused of unlawfully at large after conviction of an offense committed within the jurisdiction of Nigeria is surrendered to Nigeria by the country in question. Then, so long as he has not had a reasonable opportunity to return into that country, that person shall not be detained, whether under this act or otherwise, tried or otherwise dealt with in Nigeria for in respect of an offense committed by him before he surrendered to Nigeria, other than A, the offense for which he was surrendered, or any lesser offense which may be proved by the fact on which his surrender was granted, or B, any other offense being one corresponding to an offense described in Section 20 of this Act of the same nature as the offense for which he was surrendered, provided that a person falling within this section shall not be detained or tried for an offense by virtue of paragraph of this section without the prior consent of the country surrendering him. He stated that Article 12.4 of the African Charter on Human and People Rights Ratification and Enforcement Act Cap A9, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, which provides as follows. A non-national legally admitted in the territory of a state party to the present charter may only be expelled from it by the virtue of a decision taken in accordance with the law. Ejiofor said, the above laws, for the avoidance of any doubt, are all Nigerian laws on extradition and extraordinary rendition of citizens from foreign land. Other international instruments and conventions to which Nigeria is a state party and bound by, which emit similar provisions, include the OAU Convention on the Prevention and Combating of Terrorism, Principles and Guidelines on Human and People's Rights while Countering Terrorism in Africa, and the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. According to Ejiofor, Kanu said, and I quote, public perspective oppositions on the possible implication of the Supreme Court's judgment of 15th December 2023 on the above laws will further demonstrate the grave prejudice Nnamdi Kanu has suffered at the hands of the federal government of Nigeria. Kanu encourages supporters to remain focused, keep their eyes on the ball, and continue to conduct themselves peacefully. Well, wow. Since the last time where I heard this man matter, the thing would tire me. You know why? His people, not his people per se, person where him and them followed arrest. You know, they arrested both he for Biafra and they arrested the other guy for Oduduwa. What's his name? Sunday Igboho. Sunday Igboho have left prison since. So what is the cause? What will be the color of the problem of the people where they hold this guy hostage? The longer Nigerian government detains this man, the more Nigerian goes down and down until it goes down the drain. Free this man and let Igbos go so that Nigeria can move forward. Tor. Okay. Nnamdi, the guy, the greatest and the fearless man to live in Africa. God bless and protect him. Tor. He has to accept because he has destroyed many innocent souls and created problems in his region just to get in touch. Very unfortunate and diabolic situation. A lot are seeing this guy as hero. He is not because someone who encouraged a business failure and stop his people from going out to get legitimate ends is no doubt a destroyer and prophet of doom. It personally have no regard to his cause because it's full of ego and not clearly defined. Well, newsflash, he has also told his people to stop staying back at home for him. The person who has been forcing down the seat at home on them is in the person of Simon Epa, not this particular one, because it has been explained to him and he has understood that if these people continue to stay indoors, something will spoil. Okay. I said it that the Supreme Court leader I know is happy that the Supreme Court has given him a chance to prove himself and clear his good name. So let the fireworks begin, even if it will take 27 years. At least he is no more sick and they're feeding him well inside the cell. They think they can use going back to High Court to make him drop agitation or sign nonsense something. He said Biafra or death means something bigger than Nigeria is giving him courage, and many has gone through the agitation. Alright, on this note, we've come to the end of the news, so thank you for turning to listen. Until I come here next time, enjoy the rest of your day.